Our next presenter is Ruby OMalley. Ruby is an environmental studies major and an acting minor pursuing departmental honors. She was also on the Dean's List in 2022-23 and 23-24. As her resume can attest, Ruby is a natural performer. She is the co-director of UW's Collective Improv Troupe and has been on the team for 4 years. This past fall, Ruby directed an immersive play with the Undergraduate Theater Society, which was entirely sold out. This past summer, Ruby interned at Seattle Children's Theater as a teaching artist intern, and I think we're in for a treat. Now, the title of her presentation is Multimodal Learning in Outdoor Environmental Education. Her host organization was Sound Salmon Solutions, where she worked with Kaylee Spencer, and her faculty advisor on campus was Luna Alzuri from the program on the environment. Let's welcome Ruby.
Testing. All right, we're good. Amazing. I don't know about you all, but after sitting in a room for so long, I get a little bit antsy. I wish I could take you all outside for a change of scenery, but hey, small fry, what are you doing here? I'm trying to do a presentation. Well, I want to do the presentation. I have to do it to graduate, so if you want to help, that's okay. Yay! Okay. By a show of hands, how many of you received some sort of environmental education as children? Okay, great. And you're now all in this room that is dedicated to learning more about environmental issues. See, it works. However, in order to offer environmental programming for free, organizations rely on grant funding, which limits the time and resources available to each school. So what? So we need to maximize the impact we make on students by using our time wisely. How? I'm so glad you asked that. Last quarter, I set out to answer 2 questions. One, how can environmental educators best engage and inspire young people to care about the environment? And how can eco-theater be used as a multimodal learning tool in environmental education? Multimodal teaching means using multiple forms of teaching, including non-traditional methods, to engage students. What's eco-theater? We'll get to that in a second, buddy. I interned with Sound Salmon Solutions, a salmon hatchery, restoration, and education organization. I was one of 2 interns that traveled with the team to various elementary schools to teach hands-on lessons about salmon and the watershed stewardship. The Salmon in Schools curriculum consists of 3 consecutive lessons. Lesson 1 is an indoor lecture that centers around the salmon life cycle. Lesson 2 is an outdoor game of tag, which simulates the salmon in our ecosystems. And lesson 3 was a mixture of indoor lesson and outdoor activity, where students learned how to be watershed stewards by creating mini rain gardens using materials from the outdoors. That sounds fun. Well, it was fun. And it wasn't only fun, it was really helpful. All of these lessons use different teaching methods, which means that I got the opportunity to study how these lessons engage the students. I actually took in-classroom observations of the students' involvement and well-being. And on the graphs that you'll see in just 1 second, yep, there we go. The green and blue values correspond to high levels of involvement and well-being. And as you can see, the outdoor lessons that were multimodal engaged the students and made them happier both times. I especially liked that students really engaged with the outdoor game. No way. But that actually didn't detract from their learning. In fact, I found that students learned a lot from these lessons. For instance, before the lessons, when students were asked the question, how can you help salmon in our ecosystem? Students answered things like, help them, feed them, or stop eating them. Sounds good to me. Okay, well, after the lessons, they answered things like recycle, environmental cleanup, or even make a rain garden. That's better, right? Yeah, these answers were a lot more specific and actionable, which suggests a significant increase in knowledge of how to care for our environments. Finally, when surveyed, teachers agreed that their students would benefit from educational children's theater or eco-theater with a focus on salmon. Oh, right, thank you for reminding me. Eco-theater is theater that engages, promotes, and educates about ecology and the environment. I myself am a theater artist and educator, as Sean mentioned, and I was interested in how to leverage theater, which is already great at engaging kids, in environmental education. So I actually ended up writing a short play about salmon, and I gave that to the Sound Salmon Solutions education team as curriculum. And you guessed it, this guy's one of the main characters. I was hoping that this play could connect students to salmon further through theater. Anyways, the surveys that I collected from teachers demonstrate a willingness of them to explore different methods of teaching, even non-traditional methods, in trying to connect their students to the environment. So that's great. They all like it. And I say we should just lean into that because that's a great direction to go. All of my findings suggest that multimodal outdoor education is effective in engaging and empowering young students in environmental issues. I truly believe that creative lessons like theater, games, and outdoor activities should be prioritized in the field of environmental education. If environmental educators use our time, resources, and funding wisely, we can create a robust generation of new environmental stewards. You mean a puppet like me could make a difference? Exactly, buddy. All right, I would love to thank the Sound Salmon Solutions team, my friends and family, my faculty advisor, my lovely roommate Zoe Ward for lending me her car all of last quarter to get to the internship, and the collective improv troupe, and my friends and family. Thank you so much, everyone.
Questions for Ruby or small fry?
Yes.
I was wondering what your play was about and also what was like the creative process.
Yeah, so the play, I'd kind of gone into the internship with the intention of writing something creative for the internship. And throughout my days of teaching with the team, I learned about the Elwha River Dam, which had been demolished in 2012 and resulted in the salmon populations in that area coming back. And so I wrote kind of around that event, and I created a story about a kid that magically gets turned into a salmon, and then the kid and small fry journey through the different stages of salmon like life cycles all the way back to the river dam. The kid gets turned back into a kid and then advocates for their community and makes sure that that dam is taken down. So it's a cute story, and I hope that they use it someday because it's fun. Any other questions? Yes.
And then if you have a thought on sort of the ideal age for this type of learning.
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. So you're asking what the age ranges that I was teaching, and then also the ideal age range. Sound Salmon Solutions teaches a whole range of students. So I was interacting with students who were like first graders, third graders, fifth graders, even up to sixth graders, but pretty much in the elementary school range. And I love them. They're so cute. I actually think that this kind of education can benefit everyone. I mean, were you guys engaged during this presentation?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I don't think it stops at one age group. I think that there's a certain age where kids get like kind of, disillusioned. They're like, I don't really care about stuff. But if you just push past that and make sure that you believe in your message, kids will respond to that, and so will adults. Any other questions? Yes.
You talked about games. I love that one slide about that outdoor, how efficacious that was. Were there environmental specific games or just general games?
Yeah, so the game that we played was like a simulation of salmon in a life cycle ecosystem going down the river to the sea and then back up the river. And they like played tag with a bear and an orca, and it was super fun. But kids also learned about that life cycle and how hard it is for salmon to live in our current system. They learned about pollution and about dams. There was like a jump rope that was a dam turbine that they had to get through. It was really fun, and I loved getting to be a part of it. All right, thank you all so much.